board if somebody will let the folks in.
Cool. Okay. I was curious, like, how far will it let me put my head on Nancy's shoulder before my head disappears? Okay.
Okay, wait a minute. There we go.
Okay, so apparently, Nancy, you're the only one that can move people into chairs.
Hi, Kathleen.
Oh, good. We got
Got it. India. Yeah, I'm going to be up on top, I guess. Not filling in the seats. Or Terry, how did you figure out how to do that? Or did it just start happening?
Oh, no, you have to drag them and drop them into
Okay, Carrie, I think your video is off.
Who?
Carrie.
Yeah, it is. My video is off because I
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
had to get up and go somewhere. So,
But yeah, but only the person who's running who's the host can move
who's
people
the
around.
host?
So
Yeah.
the co-hosts can't move people around.
'Cause I tried doing that and it didn't work.
Yeah, exactly.
So I got mine today too, only I got a dark green one.
Oh,
And
cool.
I actually got a sweatshirt because I'm running out of sweatshirts. So it's not seasonal because it's going to get hot pretty soon, but I got it. So
Oh, I didn't, the t-shirts didn't, my only choices were white and pink. And I'm
Yeah.
not much of a pink person, so I got white.
No, I was able to get light blue. I thought that looked best with the, I don't really like white either. So I got the light blue.
I was looking for one with a bigger neck that didn't come up and be a mock turtleneck on me because, yeah.
Yeah.
I have like no neck, and all of my my regular t-shirts, honest gosh, they come up to here and I'm like, so I cut the neck out of a lot of them. So if I have the option, like this is the one from last year that I bought it with a big, this one's a V-neck. So I was trying to do all my shirts from each year slightly different than the one before, so.
yeah. The only
I have-
problem with the dark color is TagCon is printed in black. And
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah,
very
that's why I got
difficult
the
to
light
see.
blue.
Yep. I was gonna say my first shirt is like the one that Nancy has on, except my sleeves are black, but I got that one for the first year. Is that your first year shirt, Nancy? Oh, now she can make herself a pet. Great.
No.
Go to
I
your
still can't
go
do
to your
that.
video and see if you can do it there.
It's turned off on mine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So apparently you can do it, but nobody else can.
I'm the only one that can. Okay. Well,
Oh, wait a
anyway,
second.
now that we stopped playing and we're recording and doing
I
everything.
figured out I could do it.
Welcome to our next. Okay, I'm not quite sure why Shelley said that.
Welcome to our next.
Welcome to our next focused fan chat, where we will talk about Nefir Mekei, whatever. So, like him, hate him, think he's an absolute a-hole.
All of
Is he
the above.
is he just doing his job?
Yeah,
Both of those.
Mhm.
yeah.
Both of
All,
those, yeah.
all of the above. I mean, there's so many. It's just so complicated. I mean, I think he is just trying to do his best to do his job, but also trying to juggle more balls than he can juggle, and he's dropped a few. And yeah, Asen calls him out on it.
Yeah, he's more than almost any other character. I feel really sorry for him because he's torn. He wants to do both duties. I mean, he wants to honor his brother, but his family and his entire life has been obeying the Imperator. And so, I've heard this said on the forum. Somebody said, and I can't remember who it was, but it was one of the very prominent people, that Asen never should have put him in that position. And maybe Asen didn't have a choice because he was the one who was left behind, although there were other people on the ship. But I just feel bad for him because
I really don't think,
couldn't honor both
yeah,
sides.
I really don't think Aeson had a choice in it. I think it was his father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because because with Nefir's position, he was the primary Earth liaison, but he was also the primary tattletale.
Yeah. And the primary
He's
imperial spy.
we can pretty much guess that he's
Yeah.
the one that told Ramatat about Gwen breaching, because
Oh,
somebody else mentioned, hey, you should have seen, what happened and so forth. And oh, really? Okay, well, I guess I'm going to need to report
Do you
that
think he cared
because
more
I
about the-
doubt
Do you think he cared more about the breaching or the fact that she rekeyed
she
the quantum
survived.
stream?
She survived. I mean,
Well, she
uh,
rekeyed the quantum stream.
But
Yeah,
who knew? But who
it's
knew
the
that
quantum stream
besides
that really
Aeson?
got them.
He did not tell his father, and as far as I know, he did not tell anyone else unless he told the commander, and it wasn't let out.
Yeah, I don't
Well,
know
he
how.
said he was going to have to share it with the commander because the commander would have
Well,
seen it. He certainly would have been
Did he
Well,
say
the
that, or did he say
commander
the commander would have questions?
yes, but the commander didn't have to know all the nitty gritty details. Like, she changed it to him. He could have said it was a glitch in the system. I mean, he could have figured out a way to work around it, but Nefir liked Gwen, and that's the really sad part. He really liked Gwen.
Yeah.
I see it as all boiling down to a choice between loyalty and doing the right thing. And when you choose loyalty over doing the right thing, no, then you're lost to me.
Well, it's
Always goes wrong
definitely
when
it's
you do that.
definitely a moral dilemma. Do you blindly follow your leader, or do you really take a look at yourself and should I really be doing this? Just
Right.
because my leader says do this, is it really the right thing to do?
And you're allowed to make a mistake, obviously, but he just, even after I just felt like he did some things that were questionable, and then he just kept doing questionable things way after the time he should have realized I've gone too far. I need to stop. That's what makes me hate him. I've got no sympathy for him whatsoever, because there's no point at which he really does the right thing until it's just really too late.
Well, and at that point, Ramatat's no longer the emperor, the imperator.
Yeah, I can't say that right either. Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'm going, huh? What was that word again? Aeson is now the ruler, okay, and she is, she's his imperatrice, and so he's got to, oh well, that changes everything. Nothing changed. A position changed, but nothing else changed.
Yeah.
So he serves the office, not the man.
Yes.
Those people had their place, but he was cruel with his power.
Wouldn't there have been other people in the military that also felt responsible to the imperator, but they did the right thing and he didn't?
Maybe. We don't know.
We don't know their family backgrounds
yeah,
either. I mean,
and if Nefir was in charge of that part of the mission, they may have had to defer to him, like his decisions might have been final. So it's not like anybody else could override him and get the Larks. They would have to wait until he gave permission, I would imagine, anyway.
Yeah.
And, Ramatat didn't even know that, the Larks were on Atlantis, which kind of surprised me. I would have figured he would have figured that out by then. I mean, Aeson was so good at being stealthy. I mean, we've seen Aeson be sneaky,
Very sneaky.
but he was extremely sneaky.
Well, I mean, it's not like Nefir didn't know. It's not like Nefir didn't know at that point that they were off the ship. Obviously, he would know that, or at least I imagine he would have had to know that. But he didn't choose to report it to the Imperator.
So it kind of gets to, okay, well, yeah, maybe I did go too far,
Aeson did ask him, why didn't you tell me so I could help you find a way out?
Mhm.
Yes, but he could very well have been specifically forbidden by the imperator to
said
say
that.
anything to Aeson, because I think
But there would still be ways
Rom
around
would have
that.
known.
Yeah.
Rom probably knew that they were close, and he would have had to forbid him to say anything to Aeson.
I mean, unless he
He
was so
could have said
specific
something
about,
to Quinny, for instance, because Quinny was the one who squealed on the fear to Aeson and told Aeson, this and this is happening on that ark ship. That's why Gwen's parents is still stuck on Earth. And so
unless he
Nefir
was
could
so
have come
specific.
around that and spoken to Quinny. If he was told by the Imperator, you are not allowed to tell Aeson. So there
Yeah.
was, like Aeson told him, there was a way around that, but he chose not to.
Well, one would hope that there was a way around that. The Imperator may have told him that you're not to speak about this to anyone, particularly Aeson.
Yes,
But
and
That does sound like something Huett would say.
yes.
But the really sad thing is, the friendship that he had supposedly forged is now
Oh, yeah.
shattered.
absolutely.
Aeson,
gone.
Aeson just flat out told him, you are no longer allowed to call me Cass, and you will address me in my proper title. Period.
I wonder if they'll drum him out of the Astra diamond.
What was that?
I wonder if they'll drum him out of the Astra diamond.
I don't think you can do. I think we had asked about that one time, and they really can't be kicked out unless it's something totally dishonorable.
He won't be trusted anymore, no matter
No.
what.
But yeah, no, he
No.
definitely get the cold shoulder
He
back
lost
on
his
Atlantis.
entire friend group,
Mhm.
He lost everybody.
And he made that choice knowing that that was going to happen. You can't. I'm convinced that he knew that he was not going to be forgiven or in any way accepted.
I don't
making the
think
choice
so.
and-
I think he thought he would be forgiven.
That he
I
was
think
going to say, I was
yeah.
just doing my job, and that would
Yeah, you-
absolve him of everything.
He did.
I
The way he
thought
talked, the way he
Because-
talked to Aeson.
Because Aeson was all about duty, and he knew that. He thought Aeson would understand that he was just doing his duty.
Yeah.
And that would have been, Aeson would have forgiven him because he was just doing his duty.
But then again, Aeson learned, as we discovered in Aeson Black,
Yeah.
that Aeson
You
learned
can
there are
make
different
them
levels of duty, and one of those is duty to self, which
Yeah.
is why he chose Gwen. Would he blindly follow his father? No, that's one duty, and that's what Nefir did.
But Nefir
Yeah,
Nefir knew that Aeson was going to be the next ruler. I mean, it's
Yes,
not
but
like
he
he didn't know
wasn't-
that.
But he wasn't yet. That's the thing. He wasn't.
and maybe that's, maybe he thought that would be okay because, well, I followed your father blindly and now I will follow you. So the one thing somebody mentioned earlier, that Nefir liked Gwen, which is true, but I wonder what he actually thought of Aeson choosing Gwen.
Not at all.
As his
Didn't want
bride.
it.
I wouldn't think so.
Um,
'cause
He
I-
didn't think of it,
and-
Shelley, or he didn't
Because
like
at the very
Didn't
beginning,
like it.
Or maybe
he
he actually,
might have liked her personally.
yeah, that's, I
But I
wonder.
think he would have, he was very disdainful of the Earth teens to begin with, even in that very first or second culture class that Gwen describes, that he's kind of talking down to them
Yeah, very
or
much
doesn't
so.
have very high
And,
opinions
I
of
mean,
them.
I think Gwen, stepped up in his opinion because she was a games champion. He apparently, he's the one that told him about the games. His ancestors might have been, he may have been a citizen and nobility because of the games. So, he respected that, but, did he, he learned to, change a little bit, but then when he found out, her title now had changed, he was a totally different person.
Yeah.
Now he had to.
Because once again, it was loyalty to the office and not to the person. He liked her as a
Exactly.
person, he respected her as a person, but he may not have felt that she was suitable to fulfill the role of imperatrix.
Right.
Well, Terry would have never been able to do it.
No.
No,
But
but
it
that's
went-
who
On the
Nefir would have
surface.
supported. just on tradition.
Yeah.
When
She
when
sounded like-
Nefir went up to Eisen in Eisen Blue in the classroom when they were eating, and he introduced himself to Eisen and says that, you know, me and my family have always served the Cassiope, and I'm here if you need me.
Teresa?
And da, 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 da. The feeling I got there of him was that he was a social climber, and maybe that's also how his family was.
Mhm.
Well, yes, in Ace and Blue, Asen makes the comment that, you know, he's a brown noser.
Yeah,
You guys know what I'm talking
yeah.
because, you know, Asen could recognize the ones that were going to be his real friends and the ones that were going to only be his friends because of his imperial title.
Yep.
You almost have to wonder what Nefir did to make him become an Astrodaimon, because it doesn't seem like, I mean, there's not a great amount of detail about what anyone did to make them be welcomed into Astrodaimons, but one wonders what Nefir did.
I think it's probably a combination. At least he describes Kare's the reason Kare was invited as something about piloting skills and leading a team. So it's probably a combination of great skill and honor or honorable personality. Maybe I'm not sure how to.
Honorable service.
Yeah, I'm not really.
And
But
they
they
never
also-
They're
said
probably a
Nefir
combination
wasn't,
of the two.
they never
And
said
it's an
Nefir wasn't
international
brave.
group. It's an
He is a
international
diamond.
group. It's not, you know,
Yeah.
it's not specifically for, you know, their country. It's international.
Yeah.
So he
He is
could have,
yeah, he is the Daimon though. I know he's in the Ace in Black scene where Ace gets inducted.
Yeah, and he excelled. Eisen also said it. Astrodaimon is somebody that also excelled in their chosen field. And so Nefir obviously excelled in what he was doing, whatever his job was, as a pilot or whatever.
Yeah, because he was chosen as the ACA liaison,
Yeah.
so obviously that's a very high position.
Yeah.
I just looked up brown noser in the dictionary.
yes,
You never knew, you didn't know what that meant.
The term is said to have originated as military slang, which makes sense, from the idea that servility is the equivalent of having your nose up the less than clean backside of a person in a superior position to you who could help you advance.
That's
I wonder what that
Nefir,
meant.
isn't it?
I never knew it was that specific.
Yeah, so you know, you get a brown nose if you spend too much time looking
No
up the
kidding.
backside as somebody above you.
Well, don't look it up on the Urban Dictionary.
Oh, I can only imagine. I'll skip it, but I can imagine. Yeah.
Uh,
now,
Yeah, he was.
I think, okay, this is just a general question. I think it was in Qualify, when Gwen is stepping out of Asen's office and
Oh, yes.
is talking
Yeah.
to Nefir. What do you think they talked about?
I think
Why do you think Vera put that scene in?
we never found out who Logan's insider was. And I think Nefir had something to do with that.
But that kind of doesn't make sense though, because he would be an Atlantis loyalist. So I kind of go back and forth.
But that could also be, Nefir could be playing two roles, because he also wanted some inside information there from Logan.
But would that be two roles?
go
That would
and
be
tell the,
absolutely his
Imperator.
primary role. I mean, if his role was to report back to the Imperator, I can't say it either, to Rom, anyway, to Asen's dad, then getting the information any way he can would be within his role. So I don't think it would really be two roles. I think that would be part of
Maybe-
what he
Part
was
of his
doing.
role, yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Did he
The
know?
question was,
that
how
Logan
did
was
he-
with you?
yeah, but how did he connect with Logan? I mean, how did
His
he
brother,
even
maybe?
find out anything about how
we don't know
Logan
if they were
could
talking
possibly be
about-
helpful to him, any organization that he was in, because
Um,
Logan was
well,
undercover.
his brother?
so-
Or it could have
Nefir
been,
wouldn't have been
Brother would link
sympathetic to Logan's Earth Agency stuff.
No.
Yeah.
or
Only
it
if it
could
was-
have
Yes,
been,
agent.
Might have been
Okay,
making
well-
promises to them.
or it could have been, well, how's the relationship between you and Gwen going? You know, Gwen's kind of his pet project that he's, you know, keeping an eye on. So, you know, Logan's the
Yeah.
boyfriend. I mean, they knew they were together.
Well, I was going to say, so Logan's brother was part of like that one group that that the government was trying to,
Yeah.
you
Earth
know,
Union.
okay,
Yes, you
trying to
know.
be all buddies with the Atlanteans, but you know, in the meantime, you know, it was all half of it was all a lie. So they would have been dealing on those. And you're right, somebody whoever said that is probably Logan's brother that kind of, you know, just said, hey, you know, this is my brother, and then, you know, go talk to him, and then, you know, they would be passing info back and forth. I mean, it's all different levels of intrigue, definitely.
It could have
And-
been Logan trying to get information out of Nefir about
Yes.
Aeson.
That is a good point too.
Yeah.
Because I have a feeling that Nefir probably, I mean, nobody really knew Logan was in the EU at that point that I know of, that it was very hush hush. And, you know, he told Gwen only on promise of, you know, her not telling anybody. So, so I think maybe it was Logan just happened, you know, like Nefir was coming out of the building, Logan was hanging out waiting for Gwen, and he caught it and he saw his chance to question, you know, after this
Something
guy.
for some information.
That
Yeah.
they were still inside the building. They were behind the
Yeah, they were
security.
in the lobby area or whatever.
They were past security because
Were
Jeff
they?
or Gwen was wondering
Yeah.
how he got past security.
Yeah.
Okay. I forgot
Nefir
that
had
part.
just come out of his office and Logan saw him.
Yeah. And said, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? I don't know.
Yeah.
Vera's never told us why she put that scene in.
And
but
I
it's
don't
her-
think it'll,
it's our interest.
yeah, and I
As
don't
far
think
as
it'll
Nef-
show up in, you know, because Logan is supposed to have his own novella, but I don't think it's going to focus on anything major that's going on in the main books, although I have no idea. Maybe we'll find out there, or if she decides to write a novella about Nefir, maybe we'll find out there. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, Logan's will probably talk a lot about how his brother and how he got into the EU in the first place, and what his
That's-
role was, and it may include that scene with Nefir. It may give us a hint of what was really going on, but then again, she may leave that in the dark for us.
Yeah,
So that we can talk about that. It's that, what does she call it? White
White-
space?
white space.
Yeah.
That may just be something we never know what for sure what happened.
Oh,
But
Mysteries that will never be solved. But sometimes, you know, you need those. It's not fun to get all of your questions answered.
no,
Well, Nefir had to invite Logan in through security.
you're right,
So
Kathleen.
it seems like it's more Nefir's motivation than Logan's.
Possibly,
I'm
yeah.
gonna take off, guys. Have fun. It's been fun, but I gotta take part in the next one, so I will be leaving
Okay.
you.
Okay, bye, Carrie.
Hi,
Bye.
Gary.
Bye.
And I have to see what's my next one is. Okay, not for a while.
I think the next one is my last one. It's getting very late here. It's
I
20
bet
to
it
12.
is.
Yeah, I was gonna say Nydia will be leaving us in a moment as well, but it looks like she already did.
She's already gone.
She just,
yeah,
just-
I'm thinking about it. I'm just, I wasn't sure if I was going to hop in on this one. But I'm here.
the next one starts at
6,
so we have time.
about 20 minutes, yeah.
They just have to open the room early and get all the panelists in and make sure everybody's connected and all that good stuff. So, yeah.
Oh, it's a
You
science
know,
one.
just our technical stuff we got to work on.
Yes, you were right. It is a science panel with this time with Bridget Landry.
Yeah, this one will be with Bridget.
So if we go back to Nefir,
Yes.
after he gets back to gets back to Atlantis, I suspect he's going to be assigned somewhere really far away.
Uh,
Someplace really awful.
He's got to deal with Earth first.
I think they might leave him on Earth if he's doing a good job there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that'd be about far enough away from Aeson to make Aeson happy.
And Nefir might find himself there.
Yeah.
Well, and he did, I mean, he did help Gwen in, you know, organizing the troops on Earth to help so that they could, you know,
Be hailed as a hero on Earth because
But
he was
he
integral
was-
in saving them.
he was also the person that helped her when Gracie was arrested to
Yeah,
contact Aeson.
yeah.
So, you know, I think that Gwen has I won't say a soft spot for him, but
No, 'cause
Gwen will
mom did
always
that.
remember
He's
that.
the
that he
reason her
was there
mom
for
died.
her.
He's the reason her mom died.
Yeah.
One of the
So-
reasons.
Yeah, it's
He's not gonna
like
have a soft spot.
It's
It-
the
it's-
bittersweet
for
thing.
Gwen,
that-
it's going to be very, very mixed feelings
yeah.
because yes, he helped her with Grace, but then again, he delayed things until after her mom died, and then
Right.
he more or less had to bring him up.
But
And
when
But then he
He
favors.
helped in the end, but that's only because she was the Imperatrice. Or
Yeah.
he was told, yes, you have to do this.
Yeah.
He did it. I mean, he helped. The interesting thing is that, especially thinking of Anu and Nefir, both of them were true to themselves throughout the books. They were themselves. Nefir was a loyalist, and he was a loyalist to the end. So was he a brown noser? Maybe. But I think his loyalty to the throne, to the symbol of the Imperator,
The Cassiopeia.
the Cassiopeia, right, was just true to the bone. And he never let go of that. And, you know, even when maybe he didn't think Gwen should be Imperatrice, but when she was, he followed her because that's who she was. And-
He followed the titles.
Followed
And
the,
the helping Gracie part, that was something he as a person who had access to Aeson did personally for Gwen, because that at that point she was just a candidate and he was fond of her. He thought she was,
right,
you
and
know, he liked her. So helping
feel like
her,
he thought
helping her doesn't
um,
hurt helping her doesn't hurt the Imperator.
right.
No,
Therefore, it doesn't hurt him. You know, it's
because
not, you know, it's not going against his orders.
he didn't know what the outcome was going to be.
Right.
yeah, and
So-
at that point,
I
I feel
still
like
don't
that
think Gwen is
he
gonna
felt
have
that she
any
had potential.
lost love for him.
No,
The thing is,
This has been really nice. These are kind of the short focused ones. Our next panel is in about 15 minutes and will be the science panel with Bridget Landry. It should be fun. So enjoy and we will see you again.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll-
Bye, everybody.
Alrighty,
Thank
bye.
you.
bye.
Bye.